You're listening to the Practical Wealth Show with Curtis May, putting you in the driver's seat to control your finances. Let's start the Practical Wealth Talk about alternatives to Wall Street.
Hey, everybody. So welcome, Curtis May here. I'm excited because as I record this is the Monday after my Eagles won, and we're going to the Super Bowl, so we're excited about that. This is not going to be evergreen, so 2018. But I am excited to I have a guest for you today, Miss Meg Stangl, and we met at a mastermind that I attend, and she was just brilliant with some of her knowledge on social media and Facebook, and I wanted to have her on. So as I was kind of setting up the show, we talk about the Money for Life process, right? And so in the Money for Life formula, we talk about get money, bank it, borrow it, spend it, repay it. So under get money, this is what we're going to talk about. So I'm going to start breaking the show up into themes. Get money is you've got to get more revenue. Remember the 7 cures for a lean purse from the richest man in Babylon? Increase thy ability to earn, right? And so today we're going to start with that theme of, you should have a side hustle. You need to do affiliate marketing. Here, I'm kind of talking to people that are already in business. I think that this will be a good fit for, but this is stuff that you need to learn, because one of the things, the keys to the kingdom in business is marketing. Okay. And so one of the things that interests me with Facebook, I always look at marketing in the sense that how can I make it predictable, repeatable, and replenishable, so that you can kind of build a business that hey, I've got a lead generation, like a vending machine, where I know if I need to cut it on, I can generate leads. I know my conversions. And so that will allow you to, if you make more, you can save more, you can invest more, you can buy assets that generate cash flow. So you save more of that, so you can buy other assets to generate cash flow, cash, asset, cash. Okay, so that's what we're talking about today. So now I want to introduce Miss Meg Stangl. Say hi, Meg.
Hi, everybody.
All right. So Meg has her company is called and her website is topdigitalagent.com. And like I said, she really intrigued me. I just had tons of questions. And the meetup that we're at a mastermind. I don't know about the rest of them, but I had at least a good page of notes when you were just sharing.
That's wonderful.
No. And I always tell people when I do these shows, I say, listen, y'all can mess around if you want to. I interview people so I can learn stuff. And so I will be taking notes while we're talking. So I suggest that you do also. So Meg, tell my listeners a little bit about your background and your journey, and tell us what, how you got to your firm, fast growing firm, Top Digital Agent.
Yeah, awesome. So I am an entrepreneur in my blood, and I always have been. And I entered the digital marketing world about 12 years ago, before it got so big as it is now. And I fell in love. My very first job was helping car dealerships really attract the internet customer. And that was fun. That was way back in, the early 2000s, and when things were really good. And I fell in love with internet marketing, and I've just decided to really take it as far as I knew I could go. And, I never fit into the corporate world. That was never a good fit for me for some reason. I always thought too big, and I always looked to see what was possible. And with how rapidly the internet changes, you really need to stay on top of it on a daily basis. And I felt like any corporate job I was at really held me back as to what I was fully capable of. So I knew that I had to follow the entrepreneurial route at some point. And about 5 years ago, I opened my first business as a web design company, which is still around today. And I started building websites for people and really started getting them active on social media. Social media is such a really great place to attract customers, reach a huge audience, and get people interested for, in you and the services that you can offer for literally hardly any investment other than time on your part. And I really just started to grow with that. And the more social media became relevant and mobile came out, and everybody is on their phones, it was changing so rapidly that I really I took a lot of my own personal money and I invested it into learning from some of the best people in the industry on how to get really, really good at this stuff. And so I did. And then I found myself the past couple of years working with real estate agents and mortgage professionals. And very shockingly, I found out that, out of probably all of the people that I've helped, which has been a couple of hundred in the past couple of years, about 85% of them were not using social media effectively to grow their business. And so I was, completely just really surprised by this and decided that, these people needed my help. And if it was true for real estate agents, it's got to be true for a lot of other small business owners as well and entrepreneurs. Either there's a lack of understanding of how it works or lack of time or there's fear that kind of goes behind it, about sitting behind your computer and pushing the Facebook Live button or something. And so I decided, social media really is the wave of the future for marketing because it's where everybody is and it's where everybody connects with everybody else. It's really, really inexpensive to advertise on, and it's super profitable if you know how to do it right. So yeah, so I just, I dug into that, and right before Christmas, I quit the job that I was working at and decided to open my own digital marketing agency called Top Digital Agent, and which we are about to have an online membership that launches next month, which is just going to teach you everything it is you possibly need to know about every single social media platform on a monthly basis, and it's really cool. Because there's just such a need for it. So this has always been something that I kind of grew up with. I am a third generation entrepreneur in my family. My sister is an entrepreneur. My father is an entrepreneur. His father was an entrepreneur. And so it's just something that kind of runs through me.
Okay. See, we have that in common. I'm a third generation entrepreneur. My father was self-employed and my grandfather was self-employed. And I always tell people I never got that go to school, get your education, get a good job talk. My dad said, boy, you're never making money, work for somebody else. I said, okay. I heard that from the time I was 7. So that's it. That's cool. That's very cool. And see, that's a certain, do you think, let's just explore that for a second, that you were different? And one of the things you told me, we were talking offline, that you kind of grew up in the computer, like with a computer, like you're instead of playing dolls. I know you didn't say that, but the
yes, yeah, that's true. So my father is a software engineer, and he when I was growing up at a very, very early age, and I mean, right when computers were just coming out, I think I might have been, I don't know, it was 10 or maybe 7 when the first computer really, or when the internet really came out. But he had me learning how to type before I really even knew how to write. And and so everything, I remember we used to have one computer that the whole family shared, and it was dial up. And we all had to take turns, and it was, it took forever to get on the internet when like AOL was a big thing. And
yeah, wow.
it's just, it's funny to think back by then, but, he's always, so he's a programmer, and he's always been, kind of on the upside of technology. Now he works on artificial intelligence stuff, like for chatbots and for government programs and stuff like that. So he's always been a step ahead of what's out on the market. And he's just kind of imprinted that on me. And showed me that, if you have a computer in your hand, you really have the keys to the universe, and this is how, so, it's been cool. I think I built my first website when I was 16, and, I've done everything possible. I used to be a musician when I was a teenager, and so I had a whole recording studio on my computer and had it hooked up to amplifiers and, musical instruments, and creating these massive, orchestras on my computer. Like, it's just been such a cool tool to use for really anything. And And that's probably why I've gravitated towards it so much. And, with digital marketing, it's one of those things that, so being an entrepreneur, I get bored very easily. So which is probably why the corporate world doesn't work for me. And so what I love about digital marketing though, and social media is that it's always changing. So you're always kind of up to the challenge, and you always have to stay with it and continually investing in yourself to make yourself better at it. Which is, what I love because of how fast it's changing. I mean, I'm really looking forward to seeing where technology is going to be in the next 10 years from now when they're putting, people on Mars.
Right.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So, Meg, let's jump in and let's talk to what do my business owners, my aspiring business owners, need to know they don't know, and I guess we even use a case study of what you do with maybe some of the realtors, because one of the things, guys, business is business, right? And so all of us, I don't care what business you think you're in, you're all in the marketing business. All right. So I don't care if it's real estate. I don't care if you got a nail salon. It really doesn't matter. The work is, don't listen to what she's about to say and say, well, yeah, that works for them, but that won't work in my business. That's a waste of time. The work is in figuring out how to do that. Okay. And if she can help you, but talk about what some of the things that you do and why they're missing the boat, and what should they be doing? Why should they be adding Facebook to their marketing arsenal?
Absolutely. So yeah, it doesn't matter what industry you're in. If you provide a service or a product to consumers, or other businesses, then you have to have a social media presence. And Facebook is the best place to do that because of how wide the audience is on Facebook and how specific you can get with targeting your message to make sure that it gets in front of the right people. And you're right. We're all in the marketing business, whether you're trying to launch a new product or, if you're single and you're trying to get a date, it doesn't matter. You're still marketing yourself, all the time. So it's so important.
Just don't ask people to marry you on the first date. Okay.
Right.
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Facebook is, marketing is a lot like dating, right? You don't want to ask for marriage on that first date. And I've had people ask that to me, and it's like, what?
Right.
Check, please. I think I just something came up. I gotta go.
Right. And so it's funny. I told you the story, and so I want to kind of to frame what people do wrong. And one of the things, so I was at a not networking event, but kind of like it was a network event, but it was with smaller people. So I was meeting with a guy at a mortgage company. He says, yeah, I was doing these Facebook ads and, I don't know, it didn't work. I said, well, what did you want to have happen? He says, well, I didn't get any sales from it. I was, you think people are going to click an ad and then automatically, they don't know you, they don't know anything about you or why you're different from whoever, and just start typing in their name, birthday, social security number, address. That's the equivalent of asking somebody to marry you on the first date. And what disturbed me is that whoever helped him do that didn't know that they just, that didn't really show him, the concept of a sales funnel and that type of stuff. But speak to that for a second.
Right. No, exactly. Especially, when you're dealing with proprietary information from consumers, you can't ask them for that right out. And really, a customer has to have at least 7 points of contact with you or your brand before they feel comfortable enough, even having any type of personal interaction with you, whether that's a purchase at your store or picking up the phone to call you or submitting their email to, get on your list or whatever. It's just the cycle that they go through. And so in the digital world, when you're trying to market your business online, no matter what it is, content is king, and you want to give out as much value as you possibly can, to make that person be curious enough to want to then continue getting this information for you. So you don't want to give them everything, but you want to give them enough that's going to provide immense value to them. So you're going to teach them something, or you're going to give away something that's going to, just enhance their experience with you, but then also leave them curious to want to come back, for that second date, that third date, that fourth date, and so on. You can't just go, especially in the mortgage and real estate industry, there's a gestation period. So from the time they get that lead, they're now looking at least 3 months of dating before they can get to that marriage commitment, So, and a lot of people want results now, and they don't want to take the work to kind of really warm up that lead, to nurture that lead. Other industries, it's shorter, especially if you're just selling like e-commerce products or haircuts, or even chiropractors that are selling adjustments and massages, whatever. But that person, I mean, you have to think about it. It's like you're walking down the street and every single person that you pass is a potential lead for your business. You can't just go right up to them and be like, hey, buy my product. But you do want to go and introduce yourself and find out about them and find out what they like and find out what their problem is. And once you can identify the problem that your audience has, then you can be the solution for them, and so, but you have to let them know that you understand that they have a problem and why you're the best person to solve that problem for them. And that's really where having a great, digital marketing person on your side, or really using social media to show that you understand, that there are these issues, but it's okay because you're the solution and here's why. And now you're giving them so much value that if they continue to, stay with you, you will solve their problem, and you are going to be able to convert that person over from just, it being someone walking down the street to now you're actually doing business with them, and they can become a very profitable person in the long run. So, sales funnels is a great way to do that because you can send people through a journey on your sales funnel. And it really.
So before we say that, tell them what a sales funnel is. I don't want to assume that people understand that terminology.
Sure. So a sales funnel, it's basically it's similar to a website. So you have an opt-in page or a landing page or a survey page or whatever it is. But what it is it's a series of steps that you're taking your customer through in order for you to get their information or for them to make a purchase. So a sales funnel could be a simple, give me your email and I'm going to give you this free ebook, or I'm going to give you a discount on my services, or you get free shipping, or, you get a free appraisal or something like that. And essentially it's just a series of steps that you're going to take somebody through so that they can warm up, so that they can get into your marketing system. So behind a sales funnel is a series of either text messages or automated emails that will go out that will then nurture that person to have those points of contact with you, so that now you're in front of them all the time. And essentially the goal behind it is to create trust, give away value, and convert them from being, just somebody that's browsing and looking on the internet to now you have their information and you can continue to market to them directly afterwards.
Yeah, Meg, what do you say to the person that is hearing this? Oh man, I don't want to do all this stuff. I just want to make a sale. I need money right now. I need to make a sale. This is the stuff I hear, from people, or I don't want to learn all this stuff. But if you're going to survive, so let me bring out 2 points you said there. So one of the things, the way I look at Facebook or social media, it's media. It's a channel, right? And so one of the things she said from the get-go is you got to figure out who you serve and what problems you solve for them, right? So that they will reach out to you. So you want to be, Dan Kennedy calls it, you want to be a welcome guest, not an annoying pest, right? So most times we're interrupting people, whereas you want to compel them to contact you, right? So it's called direct response. And so what happens is, one of the cool things about Facebook is that, and I want you to talk about this, you can get really, and you mentioned, I want to go a little bit deeper there, hyper targeted. Once you know who you want, who you serve, how you help them, and why you're the perfect business for them. And folks, you need to be able to articulate that. Okay. But once you can do that, see, that's the who. Market, message is what the problem you can solve for them. In media is where are they, right? So you got to find a school of hungry fish and then drop your line in the water, right? And so why is social media, Facebook in particular, or any other ones that they should be thinking about, so powerful for finding the who?
Oh, absolutely. So there's two parts to what you just said. And the first is being, everybody just wants to make a sale, right? That's the goal here. We want to grow our business. And marketing is such an important part to making that happen that you have to allow yourself to have a marketing budget. And you have to look at it as being an investment in your business and an absolute necessity. Without it, there's no way you're going to be able to continue to grow and thrive in the economy as we continue to get more and more digital. But Facebook is a fantastic platform for you to do this, because if you have a business account on Facebook, you unlock their ads manager, and within the ads manager, you can build out custom audiences and get a whole entire digital footprint of who these people are. And the very most important part of every marketing strategy is figuring out who your customer base is, and then as much information as you can about them. So, and Facebook will allow you to do this. We can go in and play with different variables, and we can see, who they are, how much money they make, what kind of family they live, what their household looks like, if they're married, single, if they've got a baby on the way. We can see what kind of house they have, or if they're renting, or if they're getting ready to retire. We know what kind of cars they drive. We know what kind of cars they're likely to buy this upcoming year. We can see where they're spending their most money online. So if a lot of your customer base is shopping on Amazon for pet products, then you might want to put pets in your advertising, right? Because that's going to get them, it's going to attract them to want to stop and look at you. And with online marketing, the challenge is that you really only have 3 seconds to capture their attention for them to want to continue looking at, your stuff, because of how people scroll down their news feeds and everything else. So the more information you can learn about this, and what that does is it turns it from saying, okay, well, I think that my target audience is, 25 to 45, maybe they're college educated, maybe they make this much money or whatever. But so now you have a demographic, but what Facebook allows you to do, and all the information that they give you for free, is instead of me marketing to an audience, now I can market directly to Mary. And so it makes it so much more personal. And I know what Mary's behaviors are online. I know what her digital footprint is. And so instead of me going out and trying to guess, I can say, hey, Mary, I think you might have an issue with finding more time in your day so that you can be more productive and close more sales. Am I right? And now I have a more personal conversation, and I can figure out exactly how I can help Mary, as opposed to, just blindly going out there and trying to do that. And the great thing is that everybody's on social media. So, Facebook gives you the tools that you can go in and really dive in and get super, super specific. They also give you tracking codes called pixels that you can put on your website. So if you're going to advertise on Facebook, you can set up custom pixels to retarget people. So if people went to your website, but they didn't opt into your forum, I can retarget them. If they went to your website and didn't purchase, I can retarget them. If they went to your website and only scrolled halfway down, I can retarget them. So there's a lot of cool retargeting things that happen. And again, like we said, people need to see you 7 times before they decide to make a purchase or contact you. So that retargeting is huge. If they were interested, but maybe, they were looking and they were about to make a purchase, and then who knows, maybe, the dog had to go outside, or maybe the oven beeped and dinner was ready or whatever, and they couldn't do it. And then they got busy with their life and they forget. But now if they're seeing your ads again the next day because you're retargeting them, it puts you back in their mind, and they're going to go through that, and and eventually your conversions are going to be much higher. And it'll also allow you to create custom lookalike audiences too. So if you have an existing email database, you can import that into Facebook. If Facebook will then create a digital footprint of what that audience looks like, and go out and find you people that match that audience. So you can create all kinds of lookalike audiences, custom audiences. You can import email lists in there. And if they're on Facebook, you can market directly to them. I mean, there's just a really wide and expansive opportunity for you to get really specific. And Facebook will tell you, you can take a look at the results from your ads and it'll tell you exactly what time of day people are, most responsive on what platform. So if they're on their desktop, if they're on their phone, where they're seeing your ads. If it's Facebook, you can also advertise on Instagram through Facebook. So there's just so much, and all of the data that they give you is amazing. And if you dig through that data, you can get really specific as to what works. So then you can really, micro target your audience and see to make sure that your message is going to get in front of the right people at the right time when they're paying attention on the right platform. And that's super powerful for any marketer. And again, all of that information is free for you to use. And you can advertise on Facebook, for $5 a day if you wanted to. It's really up to you. So it's very inexpensive and all that information is free. You just have to decipher it and use that to come up with your plan. But I mean, what a great tool.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. I mean, you can once I mean, it's some work. You got to dig in there and understand your numbers. But if you're trying to see, when you said that, I'm thinking that if I'm willing to learn this and I'm an affiliate marketer, or I'm a home-based business, or I'm trying to start transition from my part-time consulting to full-time, I could do this and let this system, Facebook, and you need some other follow-up systems behind it, lead capture, email autoresponder, those type of things. But you could build an audience and start to build an audience. You can start to build a database. You can start to build sales so that you can transition, if that's your goal, from, employment to self-employment. That's kind of what I heard. That's part of what I hear, you could do that. And if you already have a going business, then you can now maybe double down and really, grow your revenue if you either learn this or get some help and add this to your business. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And for me personally, so about, I left my job at the end of 2017, but really in June of last year, I started it as my side hustle, my company. And I used Facebook to really get to the people, and I got a lot of private consulting clients to the point where I was able to surpass my income from my full-time job to make it okay, so that when I was finally, ready to leave, I was able to quit and go out on my own and not miss a beat. So Facebook is a great platform to do that. And, it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. And if you don't have the time to really dig in and that, hiring a consultant to show you how, or, hiring an agency to just do it for you is definitely not a bad investment, I don't think, for anybody.
Right. And let's hit one more thing before we go. We talked about, people are familiar that are in the marketing world, familiar with the what do you call it, the Google slap. And what you have to do is you're always, some algorithms, and I didn't know this till you brought it up in the mastermind that we were in, may change. And you said there is a way around that, or being aware of that, so you know how to allocate your resources and structure your situation right. Can you speak to what's happening and how you can take advantage of it?
Absolutely. So Facebook's algorithm is changing. It's been all over the online world. You might have even seen a notification in your Facebook as you've logged in the past few days. But basically what they're going to be doing is, in a way to kind of combat, all the fake news and all the chatter and keep it personal, they're going to be showing less and less of business pages and brands and media channels, and they're going to be showing you more from friends and family. So what that means for us as businesses and as marketers is, one, should I even create a business page anymore? And, The answer to that is yes, absolutely, because you need that business page to advertise and to unlock all those cool advertising tools on Facebook. So yes, that's important to still have that. But how you can kind of work around this is with Facebook's new algorithm, engagement is going to be, key here. So you're going to start seeing posts from friends or family that are going to be commenting on your stuff, liking your stuff, sharing your stuff, or commenting on their stuff. Things that are going to have more engagement are going to be shown to you first. So how do we get around this? One is now we can start using our personal profiles and our business profiles together. So we can put stuff on our business page and get a lot of engagement on it. So have people comment on it, like it, and share it. More importantly than liking it is like reacting to it. So if you hover over the like button and then you get like the heart or the happy face or, the wow face or the sad face or whatever, that takes a little bit more effort. So if people can react to your post in that way and getting comments, but engagement is really going to be the key. And then you can take that post from your business page and share it on your personal profile. So that's one way to kind of get it in front of people. Another thing is that you can start friending, go through Facebook and really start digging into who's on Facebook, and whoever that target audience is that you want to go after for your business, start friending all those people. So if you're targeting, if you're, say, for example, me, I help real estate agents as my primary market. I'm going to go now and I'm going to go try to find, however many real estate agents and friend them, right? And then I'm going to friend them on my personal page so that when I am posting stuff from my business page to my personal profile, it's going to be relevant to them and they're going to want to see it. And I'm going to always drive them back to my business page. And then the other thing is that when you have people like or follow your business page, have them turn on notifications and have them turn on, the see first. So that ways, they'll always be notified when you post something on there. But again, engagement is just going to be key. So, there's a lot of cool ways that you can get high engagement on Facebook. Contact me if you want to know more, and I'm more than happy to help you, get your engagement rates up. But as long as people are interacting with you and they're engaging with you, then you're going to be fine. So don't stress.
Right. Let me ask you this. This has come up when I'm thinking, is that because I have really stopped friending people that weren't friends. So I haven't, or I didn't know them, and, why are you connecting with me? Which may or may not be a bad idea, but can't you sort out like friends, family, class friends from like acquaintances, like friends, family friends, where they don't see all, you can segment who sees what?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. So you can create lists out of your friends, and you can have a list of, we'll say, you can have like a list of family, you can have a list of friends, you can have a list of, potential clients. And then when you are posting, you can post just to that list.
Got it. So that's how you would do that. So if I segmented them and I took the people from the that I was friending, they're on they're now on the family list. So if I did what you just said, then I could put it out to that. That's how you get around that, and not be creepy, where everybody knows. Yeah, hey, I saw you at the beach, and you look really good. That commercial where people got this. And I love your kids, and yeah, you look really good in that bikini. Like no. All right, who are you again? So.
Yeah, you can definitely create lists inside of Facebook and then post just to those lists.
Okay, perfect. So as we wind down, I thank you so much for your time. Tell me, how can my list? Well, two things. What's your let's say one or two new skills you're working on this year, and maybe a good book or two that you're reading going into the year. We're always working on getting new skills as entrepreneurs, and so I always like to know would I be missing? What should I be using? What app should I be using? If there's a new cool tool out there.
Sure. So one of the things that is really starting to blow up is chatbots, where they are. So when you're responding to people's ads or trying to message people on Facebook, you're automatically responded by a chatbot. So it's not like it's not a real person, but it still kind of does the same thing as like a sales funnel. It's going to ask you qualifying questions, and based on your answers, it's going to provide you with some kind of a value. So that's what I'm really looking forward to getting into. I'm working with a few different people on some really intelligent chatbots, which are exciting, and that. Yeah. And apparently you would think, with social media being such a personal platform, how do people feel about it going back to being automated? But believe it or not, it's actually converting really well. And for those that we are using it with, we're seeing a much higher opt-in and conversion rate than not. And it automates the whole entire process. So that's pretty cool. And that's something that I'm looking to add to my arsenal of services for clients this year. And video is also a really, really strong and growing focus. So I am definitely doing a lot of cool things with video myself personally and for my clients. So that's
when you're saying video, do you mean YouTube or Facebook Live or both?
Both and all of the above. So, video, building up a YouTube presence or, going on Facebook Live is a great way to get in front of a ton of people. Same thing with YouTube Live if you have the audience to do it, and just really putting yourself out there and allowing people to see, your business, your brand, what that's like, and having it be personal is video marketing is great. And there's a lot of cool new things that you can do with advertising with that too, which are a little different, that get people to engage more with video driving it on the back end. And I have a course online that teaches every single social media platform out there. It's a membership course and it's all video based. And so, so we're working on, getting our own studio and having people come in and just do a professional green screen, all kinds of cool stuff with that. So that's in the works for this year too.
So go ahead. I was going to tell them, have you tell them how to find the course. So that sounds awesome.
Yeah, so the course is coming. It goes out live on February 1st. And if you just go to my Facebook or my website, it's www.topdigitalagent.com. You can sign up there. You'll get a free social media strategy. There's a free Facebook ad. They're for realtors, but it can be tweaked to work, for any industry. And what's cool about it too is I'm a very hands-on person, so you can reply directly to the emails and it comes right to me and I answer every single one of them. So any kind of tweaking or walkthrough or whatever it is you need, I can dive right in and help you with that. But definitely check that out. The course is going to go live on February 1st and it'll be available to everyone. It's a membership that every month we cover something new. So we start with Facebook and we start with Facebook Ads Manager. Then we move on to video and podcasting where we cover YouTube. Then we're doing Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Snapchat, offline events. I mean, we're just covering the whole gamut of everything. And it's a really cool membership. It's really, if you want to get ahead of marketing on social media this year, it's the one membership that you need to have. So
there you go.
Yeah, that's
that's again, marketing is the keys to the kingdom. So if you can have a great product, service, company, but if nobody knows, you're broke, right? And if you're broke, I can't help you. I always, this is not about me, of course, but I always tell people, look, you can't steer a parked car. So if you're going to achieve your goals and dreams, folks, you've got to get revenue coming in. And so one of the things is that we always say Meg proved it. What do I say? Your first best investment is, number one, in between your ears, your skill set, your mindset. See, so she had a mindset of an entrepreneur. Number two, she invested in her skill set, right? And that is her ability to solve problems. See, your income is in direct proportion to the value that you bring to the marketplace. So how do you increase your value? You got to increase your skills. And then we met at a mastermind. And so she's investing in her network of meeting her target ideal customer. So folks, I want you to see that theme that I'm talking about. There are things that you can do, and everything she said there will give you a higher ROI than trying to pick a winning mutual fund. Okay. And would you say that you had a better ROI than, trying to get an index fund somewhere above the S&P 500?
I would say it's more reliable, for sure.
So, listen, guys, I want to, Meg, I want to thank you. Any else you want to send them? Any parting thoughts for our listeners today?
Yes, I just, thank you so much for having me on here. It's been a lot of fun. And, one thing I just wanted to add to what you just said is mindset. Man, mindset is everything. And in the entrepreneurial world, if you're a business owner, if you're thinking about starting a business or making that jump, it really, having a great mindset is really going to separate you from everybody else. I mean, there's going to be times where it's going to get tough, and there's going to be times where you fail, and you just have to expect that. That's part of it. That's where our mindset really kicks in, and you don't give up. And that's what makes you great, right? Because then you take those lessons, you learn from them, you tweak your strategy, and you just do better next time. And that's really what will set you apart from everybody else. And, having a positive mindset is key. I do a lot of affirmations, and I do a lot of meditations where I keep my mindset on the end result, and that my destination or my journey may change, but the destination will always stay the same. And, having that positive mindset and knowing that I'm really helping people grow their business and being able to provide a service back to the world that is needed has been a key part of my success in what I've done. So definitely invest in that positive thinking mindset. A great book that I'm reading right now, it's called The Answer. It's by John Assaraf, and it's all about neural reprogramming and using law of attraction and all of that fun stuff. And it's great. It's a great way to keep you focused on what's important to you and your business and how it's going to grow in the next few years to come. So I highly recommend that.
Awesome. Well, listen, folks, I can't say anything after that, so I'm going to say goodbye. And so I want to thank our guest, Megs Stangl. And this is the Curtis May from the Practical Wealth Show. Listen, folks, your economic situation is a matter of choice and not chance. We thank you for listening. We're out. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to Practical Wealth. To access the show notes and resources, go to practicalwealthshow.com. To get your questions on the show, go to practicalwealthshow.com. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Before you make any investment decisions, consult a professional. This show is copyrighted by Practical Wealth. Written permission must be granted before syndication or rebroadcasting.